to call this impeachment theater in Washington is not even melodramatic. At the close of yesterday's show, after we had Judge Jeanine Pirro on talking about what's happening in Washington, we did have, as predicted, the Democrats announcing, Nancy Pelosi announcing at a press conference that indeed the House is moving forward on impeachment. But let me make something clear. They're not really moving forward on impeachment. This is a complete theatrical fake-out designed to confuse and mislead Democrat-based voters who have been egging on the Democrats to try to get some reason to impeach Donald Trump, try to find something they can bring, but she really committed to nothing else. She basically said, we're doing all the things we have been doing, but man, this is official now. She's not willing to call a vote. She will not call a vote on the floor of the House. And the reason is, even if she thinks she could get to the majority needed to move forward on impeachment, if people, members of the House in their hearts would like to go forward, she knows very well that many vulnerable Democrats serving in Congress cannot vote to move impeachment forward because they live in districts that Donald Trump won, and that those people feel very vulnerable. They do not want to be on record supporting impeachment. So it wasn't really much of an announcement at all. But two other developments happened today. One was President Trump actually released the transcript of his call with Ukrainian President Zelensky. This is fabulous. This is what someone who's actually innocent in their heart does. He did not, as now everyone can see, if you are willing to read it, everyone can see, he did not say to Zelensky, here's the deal. You open up the investigation again of Biden and all of Joe Biden as vice president, Hunter Biden as board member of Burisma, all that criminal corruption that Biden arm twisted you to drop. Trump did not say, bring it all back and we will give you more aid, or if you don't start that prosecution, we'll pull back your aid away. There was nothing like that. There was no quid pro quo. So contrast that with what we actually know the Democrats actually did. All of this issue, this alleged basis for impeachment, is the idea that Trump somehow tried to enlist the Ukrainians to hurt a presidential candidate, Joe Biden, by starting up the investigation again. What the Democrats really did, and this is not speculation, widely known fact, well reported, not denied by anyone, the Democrats themselves reached out to the Ukrainian president, made clear by his own account that Ukraine had bipartisan support for the U.S., but it could be jeopardized if the new president acquiesced to requests made by President Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, to investigate past corruption allegations. On top of that, we've been talking in this show, and I want to urge you again, if you haven't read Peter Schweizer's book, talking about the depth and breadth of corruption under the Obama administration with Joe Biden and his son in the Ukraine, the idea that the Democrats think they're going to pull this over on the American people, that they're going to delude the American people into thinking impeachment's justified, justifying impeaching a president for doing maybe 100th of what Joe Biden is proven and bragging on national television to have done. It is so outrageous. It is just, and as I said yesterday, Nancy Pelosi's in a tough spot. I think she knows that this impeachment effort will backfire. She knows it'll hurt the Democrats. She knows they don't have any legitimate basis for impeachment. She knows all of that. But she cannot placate the rabble-rousers in her base, both the members of Congress and also their voters, their Democrat voting base, who want Trump to somehow be removed from office. Last point in this first five is this. If you think of why President Trump won in 2016, a lot of people go to, build the wall, secure the border. But the second one was drain the swamp. That's what President Trump ran on. It's what his voters want him to do. And what he is doing right now, if he can get the Ukrainians to open that investigation. And by the way, Ukrainian President Zelensky, he didn't seem to mind this at all. He wasn't saying, oh, no, we're kind of done with that. He's on board. He understands. Everyone understands who pays attention that Biden was involved in extremely, extremely inappropriate arm-twisting corruption involving his son and in the Ukraine, and Zelensky knows this. So what Trump won on, beside build the wall, was drain the swamp. And in a really big picture way, that's all Trump is doing. He's getting the Ukrainians to look back into the unbelievably corrupt conduct on the part of Vice President Biden and In that way, if it were to be exposed and brought out so everyone understands, that would be a swamp draining like we've never seen in Washington. And that, my friends, is today's First Five.